What are we doing here? Well, that was a question I was asking myself at this point. Here's a doll with 4 chewed up limbs and a missing foot. Can I make something out of it? Will that something remotely be anything anybody wants to see? Well, stick around and find out. Despite all the non-encouraging moments of my little pet there, that most likely was the one that caused all this. We have to sand the crap out of this little dolly to see if we can get some epoxy clay to stick to this thing. And as you'll see in a few minutes, it's going to be a little difficult. Of course, she has no foot. I mean, you work with what you started with. And there it goes. The foot is gone. More sanding, and more sanding. Up, it never ends. Try again. And it's somewhat successful. She's got a leg. Yeah, let's go to the other foot. That might work. Maybe not. People always say it gets worse before it gets better. This is probably the worst. By the way, the stuff I use is called Epoxy Sculpt. I'll put a link up in there so you can take a look at it. This stuff is not for children. It is rock hard, but it does require gloves when you first mix it together. As you can tell, still no second foot. Yet. Because it doesn't like to stick until the clay dries a bit. And this was the moment that I realized that we are not just dealing with a lost foot, but chewed up little arms. Thanks to, again, that little puggy that I love very much. With no confession in hand, we must still work on this project. Anybody else have dogs that do really strange things? Trying to add a arm. Never mind, we gotta stand it more because of the little teethy marks. And will it stick? We'll go with yes. Maybe. We'll find out in a little bit. And now we try to smooth out the feet and take care of the, once again, half leg. Let's see how it goes. Don't be like me if you're doing epoxy clay. Let it sit and firm up a little bit before you start. That would really help me at this point, but what's done is done. Working on getting regular motion of the arms and getting the clay on. It takes a little bit longer than I would have thought. Well, anybody would have thought at this point. But since I want to make it a plaything for my daughter, it has to actually work. Because little dolly that looks like she has casts on, not so fun, right? Well, unless you're playing hospital, I suppose. But here we are, trying to make sure everybody is aligned correctly. And going back to the foot. That poor foot. It's seen better days. Well, maybe not, because it was chewed up by a dog. But either way, I'm trying to sculpt it out and make sure it balances so that the doll can stand. And we're going to see how it goes. If you stick around to the end, we have a special surprise for you. My daughter wanted to make something to show you all. have a foot for the third time in this project. Let's see if it actually stays. Note to self and the rest of you guys out there, use a guiding wire. It makes life easier. Or just leave the chewed foot as if it is a normal thing to have happen. But it may help somebody someday, 10 years from now. Off to sanding so the paint will stick, which means one thing. You know what that is? The foot actually stayed on for once after 5-6 times. Persistence matters. I deleted the sound of the sandpaper. You're welcome. It was really scratchy and annoying. And we're back for the all-important painting part. It wasn't the colors I would choose, but then again, I'm making it for my daughter. So, it's just different. We are doing pink, again, my favorite color. And gray. Why? I don't know. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we finally got our confession here. Or I found her with another doll. Either way, we know who did it. We are finishing up the paint process, or at least the first coat of paint, because I didn't want anybody else to have to watch paint dry like I did. But I'll see you at the end with final looks and my daughter's special project. Thank you for sticking around, and please subscribe. some color or non-color. I don't know. Is gray color? It's like when there was the 70s and everything was green, now everything is gray, so I guess it's a color. Anyways, time for final looks. The doll has some paint missing because of the way I kept her arms articulated, but she's supposed to be a plaything. Thank you guys all for watching, and stick around for my daughter's painting she'd like to show you. And there it is. Isn't it beautiful?